Good morning, Washington Wolves. Happy Wednesday. My name is Miss Autumn, and I'm an MSW intern here in the Wellness Center.
And my name is Miss Perez, and I'm also a social worker here at the Wellness Center.
And welcome to our fourth School Wellness and Prevention Assembly. As a reminder, so far we've discussed mental wellness, bullying prevention, and sexual harassment prevention. Today's topic is protecting your body from vaping. If anything we talk about today makes you sad or upset, please speak with a trusted adult, such as your teacher, counselor, parent, or guardian. So today we will learn what your brain's job is as a teen, what happens when you introduce nicotine or cannabis to a growing brain, different methods of nicotine and cannabis use and their effects, and also about addiction and the problems that can arise from it.
Your brain is awesome and does a lot of amazing things. Your brain's job is to help you figure it out what you like, learn new things, and help you become the person that you want to be. What do you want to be when you grow up? So take a few seconds to share amongst your other peers what you want to do when you grow up.
I know when I was growing up, I really wanted to be a nurse.
And I wanted it to be a teacher. So let's take a few more seconds.
Okay. So everyone's brain is different. This is why we enjoy different things. We're good at different things and we have different personalities. So here's some examples. One person likes to read books, another enjoys playing tennis, another likes to garden, while someone else may like to paint. Here's some more examples. So everyone here likes different foods like pizza, sushi, pie, and pancakes. So now we're gonna play a little game, thumbs up, thumbs down. So go ahead and give us a thumbs up if it's something you like, and then a thumbs down if it's something you don't really like. So first off, broccoli, thumbs up or thumbs down. Painting, thumbs up or thumbs down. Playing sports, thumbs up or thumbs down. And math, math is a favorite subject, thumbs up or thumbs down. Thank you, everyone, for playing. Let's go ahead and continue.
Right now, your brain is looking for things that it likes. Uh, this little brain is trying to find out what things she likes and what things she doesn't like. This is an important job because it helps her find new fun hobbies to enjoy, like reading, trying new activities like yoga. She's trying to figure it out what foods she enjoys and what she doesn't enjoy. While this brain is looking for what she likes, it's a risk of getting tricked by things called drugs. Nicotine is the drug that is in cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and other tobacco products. Um, Hold on. Okay, drugs can trick a brain by making it think it likes it. It likes the drug and making it feel good at first. It's not a bad thing to want to feel good. What healthy things make you feel good? So think about what healthy things make you feel good. I know for me is the gym, sports, dancing. Want to share some?
For me, it's going to be the gym as well. I really love working out, and also journaling. I like to write down sometimes what I'm thinking. But the problem with drugs like nicotine and cannabis is that eventually it takes more and more of the drugs to make the person's brain feel good. Now the brain is using 2 e-cigarettes. Now they're using 3 e-cigarettes. This is called tolerance. which means it takes more and more nicotine to feel the pleasure someone used to feel. This person's brain doesn't feel good anymore, but it's really hard to stop using the drug. The brain and the body feel really bad when they stop. This brain and the person feels tired and irritated. This feeling is called withdrawal. It's a very uncomfortable feeling.
So the person feels like they can't stop using the drug, even when it causes problems in their life and it's not enjoyable anymore. This is called an addiction. What problems do you think can come from addictions? So think about it and just take some time. But it is hard to focus in school. So for some people, that might be it. For others, might be parents and teachers mad and upset because you're not paying attention, things like that. You can lose friends by doing drugs. Your grades can go down. You are gonna start feeling lonely, sad, stressed, and it's just gonna get worse and worse. So let's review some of the takeaways from this section. So the teen brain's job is to figure it out what makes you you. Your brain is awesome and full of potential. Everyone's brain is different. In adolescents, brain is particularly vulnerable to drugs. Nicotine hooks you and makes your brain think you need it.
So first, let's discuss what else is in an e-cigarette. So I want to ask you guys, do you think e-cigarettes are just harmless water vapor? Well, in fact, they are not. Did you know that many of these ingredients found in e-cigarettes are also found in household products? Products I'm sure you don't want to put into your mouth or body. For example, nicotine, tobacco, benzene, which is in gasoline, cadmium, which you find in batteries, lead, which is in car batteries, toluene, which is in paint thinner, and formaldehyde, which is also found in dead tissue preservative to keep preserve dead things. So these are just some examples of things that are found in e-cigarettes. Go ahead.
E-cigarettes also have flavors like watermelon, vanilla, bubble gum, and others. So you see, you can heat and eat these flavors, but if you heat them and then inhale the aerosol from them, that is where the concern is. These flavors can harm your lungs and heart. Let's discuss the harms of flavor e-cigarettes. So it can cause inflammation and irritation in the airways. Two, there's destruction of air sacs in the lungs. And then third, it can cause a weaker immune response to infections.
So we're also concerned about e-cigarette use and you getting COVID or EVALI, which is e-cigarette and vaping associated lung injury. Lungs are weakened from breathing in smoke or aerosol. The novel coronavirus also attacks the lungs. So there actually is concern that weakened lungs are at a greater risk for COVID, including getting a more severe infection and other lung infections that it can cause. So in addition to harming the lungs, e-cigarettes can also hurt your heart. It can cause increased risk for blood clotting, and it can also stiffen your blood vessels. The evidence that e-cigarettes increase cardiovascular heart risk is piling up. The heart is the center for pumping blood throughout a complex network of blood vessels in the body. These blood vessels are responsible for delivering fresh oxygen to organs or tissues. Your cells need oxygen to survive and work properly. Breathing in the aerosol from the e-cigarette, even if you're not the one using it, can lead to blood vessel stiffness and possibly affect your heart's ability to move fresh oxygen to your brain, muscles, liver, and other parts of your body. Ultimately, blood vessel stiffness and blood clotting can increase someone's risk for heart attack or heart disease.
There is also evidence that using e-cigarettes can give you acid reflux or heartburn. Using e-cigarettes not only hurts you, the aerosol can harm others. Take a second to think about how vaping affects others.
Okay. So go ahead and share some responses to your neighbors or with the teacher about how vaping not only affects you, but those around you.
All right, well, let's continue. Secondhand aerosol, similar to secondhand smoke, is the plume of chemicals released into the environment directly from the e-cigarette and from the lungs of the user. Common places for exposure to secondhand aerosol include restaurants, parks, vehicles, and design smoking areas. Chemicals that are released include harmful substances such as nicotine, heavy metals, ultrafine particles that fall deep into the lungs, cancerous chemicals, and organic compounds, aka COC,
VOCs.
Exposure to this aerosol can lead to respiratory infections and make someone's asthma worse, among other problems. Another way that e-cigarettes pose a danger to people other than the user is through third-hand aerosol. Third-hand aerosol is the mixture of chemicals in e-cigarettes aerosol that remain on surface and in dust. Even after the aerosol is gone, the react with other chemicals in the environment to form toxic chemicals. These potentially harmful chemicals can expose other people or animals through a respiratory system, through ingestions, and through skin exposure. Small children are specifically at risk for third-hand aerosol exposure because they tend to put things into their mouth and they have more vulnerable skins.
So now let's shift to talk about cannabis. So what is cannabis? Well, there are two chemicals in cannabis that are responsible for causing direct effects on the body. The first chemical is THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol. And what gives you cannabis is psychoactive property, meaning it makes the user feel high. The other chemical is CBD, cannabidiol, doesn't make you high, and is the compound that can be used for clinical or medical purposes when used under supervision of a medical professional. Cannabis industry has taken off in the last few years and has made many unsupported health claims about the benefits of using this drug. The concern is that short and long-term positive and negative health effects of using cannabis are still unknown. Cannabis can look different depending on the form it comes in, and these forms fall into two major categories: inhalation and ingestion. So, inhalation methods include rolls, joints, and blunts, and they're all methods to burn and inhale cannabis. A joint is made from cannabis flower, and a thin paper is made for rolling cigarettes. Blunts are made by the tobacco leaf of a cigar and cannabis flower. This means that smoking a blunt exposes the user to harmful tobacco substances as well as the substances from the cannabis flower. Why might this pose an even greater health risk? The answer is nicotine, which is a highly addictive substance. The user is exposed to both tobacco and cannabis substances. Backwoods, which also come in different flavors, also contain nicotine, and you may not even know it. Bongs and pipes are also methods of burning the cannabis flower. Dab pens are like e-cigarettes and aerosolize a THC wax concentration that is then inhaled. While inhaling cannabis, the smoke is inhaled deep into the lungs and held there, which causes more damage to the respiratory system, including the lungs, cilia, and airways. The American Lung Association and National Institute on Drug Abuse have found that since cannabis smoke is typically held in the lungs for a longer period of time, it can leave up to 4 times the amount of tar as cigarettes do in your lungs. Some believe that using a bong or water pipe may filter out some of the chemicals, but this is not true. Vaping cannabis in a dab pen is also not a safe alternative. As a matter of fact, a study done in 2021 says that teens vaping cannabis are twice as likely to develop a wheezing in the lungs or a new disease called EVALI, which is the e-cigarette vaping product use associated lung injury. Edibles are another way the cannabis enters through the body in the digestive system. Because of this, it does take longer to feel the effects of cannabis when ingesting it. One may think they need more because they don't feel the effects, but ultimately they consume too much, which makes them sick. Cannabis can be infused into baked goods through butters and oils. They can also be taken in gummy, mint, spray, pill, or candy form, to name a few. Edibles may have varying amounts of THC in one serving. A single edible often has several serving sizes and a large amount of THC. Whether homemade or store-bought, eating an entire cookie or a brownie with THC can result in accidentally eating too much THC, leading to cannabis intoxication. Edibles can also cause a different and more intense experience than inhaled cannabis.
So some of the obvious short-term physical changes include red eyes, dry mouth, impaired motor coordination, increase in heart rate, delay response to people and environment, increase appetite, aka munchies, and muscle relaxation. Now, for someone experiencing the high or intoxication from cannabis, they might feel the following: skin sensation of hot or cold, memory lost or inability to recall certain memories, pleasure or bliss, paranoia or fright, and an altered perception of time and space. These effects are the result of THC and CBD acting on different parts of the body. The lungs, heart, and brain can suffer due to long-term use of cannabis. Those who smoke it run the risk of damaging their lungs over time. A lot of the harmful and cancerous chemicals released from cigarettes are also released from cannabis. It is also important to note that smoke is smoke. Secondhand smoke from cannabis is released just like cigarettes, and the secondhand are also in a e-cigarette or vapes. The heart is also negatively affected by these chemicals. As we have been reviewing, this is strong evidence that cannabis negatively impacts the brain long term, especially in young person's brain. Now we will move on to brain function. THC negatively impacts brain development in children, adolescents, and young adults.
So research shows that young people are at the highest risk of having their hierarchy of survival hijacked. Young brains are hypersensitive to the false shocks of dopamine that drugs produce. Your brain is still learning and growing. So given what we talked about with the survival hierarchy, you can become addicted to cannabis much more so if you are an adolescent than an adult. A cannabis use disorder is when someone is unable to stop using cannabis, even if it causes them health or social problems. 9 out of 10 people that struggle with drug addiction started using before they were even adults. On the bright side, health risks decrease as soon as you stop using e-cigarettes. For example, the risk of having a heart attack can drop immediately after quitting e-cigarettes, and someone could take action right away to protect their heart by stopping any e-cigarette or cigarette use. So given all that you've learned today, what would you say to a friend who wants you to vape with them? So take a few moments to talk to your partner, share with the class and the teacher. What would you say to a friend who wants you to vape with them? I know when I was growing up, I would sometimes my parents would kill me if I ever did that. And normally that's enough for students to understand the pressures and the consequences of these kind of behaviors.
There's also some examples in this slide. You can say something I already tried it and don't really like it. You can also say I don't want to hurt my health. Maybe later, I hate the smell and taste. I don't like using other people's stuff. You can also try saying I want to play my best at practice. My mom would totally find out. If you were really my friend, you wouldn't ask me to do this.
Mm-hmm. So keep your brain happy and healthy. The best way to stay out of addiction is to nicotine or cannabis is to not use them at all. If someone is already using nicotine, the best idea is to stop using it. They can also encourage friends and family to not to use it to protect their health. And if someone's having a hard time stopping, it's important to ask a doctor, teacher, parent, or a counselor for help. So now teachers, I'm gonna ask you to ask your students for some key takeaways from the presentation regarding e-cigarettes and vaping, as well as cannabis use. So go ahead and take a few minutes to the class to do that. And
So what do you do if you need help? If you or someone you know is using e-cigarettes and is having a hard time stopping, it is important to ask a doctor, parent, teacher, or counselor for help. You can also text or call this number. Let me see. And there is, we talked about it in other presentations too. There is trusted adults at our school, and that can be Miss Hernandez, she's the counselor, Miss Alex, she's the social worker. We also, it's also us, the interns. And then, you have the principal and other teachers that you can count on. Another outside of school can be also a family member. If you're seeing a therapist, a psychologist outside of here, that can be a support and a trusted adult that you can go up to. And just make sure that you listen and that they're listening to you and supporting you, and that they help you develop a plan to take care of yourself.
mm-hmm. And thank you, students and teachers, for listening to this presentation. We hope that this was helpful information for you guys to continue to stay healthy and well and take care of your bodies and your minds. And go Wolves!
Bye.
You stop.
And then what happened?
Stop recording. Stop.
Oh.